Aging isn't just about getting older. It's a biological process driven by specific cellular mechanisms. While conventional wisdom says aging is inevitable, modern science has debunked that and identified key drivers that speed it up, but more importantly, slow it down. So let's break down the 5 biggest causes of aging and what we can do about them.
Welcome to Health Decoded, your number one source for real health information, with your hosts, Dr. Alessi and Matt Tack.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Health Decoded. I am your host, Dr. Alfred Alessi, and today we are going to talk about a really cool topic and something that's very popular in today's culture, especially with the prevalence of so many chronic diseases on the rise. We're going to talk about anti-aging and how we can reverse cellular aging without having to break the bank on expensive treatments. And so aging isn't really just about getting older. It's actually about how fast your cells are breaking down. So most people think of aging as an inevitable process. They count the number of their birthdays, right? And it's just a number that increases every year. But what if I told you that the number of candles on your birthday cake doesn't actually determine how old you are at the biological level? Aging isn't just about time passing. It's about the rate of cellular breakdown inside your body. Some people in their 60s are still running marathons and thriving, while others in their 40s feel exhausted and have chronic joint pain. And so what is the difference? It's their biological age. So your chronological age is simple. It's how many years you've been alive. But your biological age is much more important. It measures how well or how poorly your cells, organs, and tissues are functioning compared to others of the same chronological age. For example, a 50-year-old with great mitochondrial function, strong telomeres, and low inflammation could have a biological age of 35. Meanwhile, a 40-year-old with high oxidative stress, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation could have a biological age of 60. And so what is the difference? It's your cellular health. So what drives biological aging? Here's a few things. Mitochondrial decline. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of our cells. So this causes our cells to lose energy production, which can lead to fatigue and disease over time. Another one is telomere shortening. So the telomeres are the caps at the end of your DNA, and over time they can wear down, which can lead to cellular dysfunction. Chronic inflammation, which we have talked about in previous episodes, is the silent killer behind heart disease, dementia, and cancer. Things like glycation and insulin resistance. So basically sugar accumulating in the blood over time can cause damage to proteins and accelerate aging. And then probably one of the biggest ones is oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is when things called free radicals in the blood and in the cells can attack your cells and cause premature aging. And so there was a study in the Journal of Gerontology in 2021 found that people with better mitochondrial function and lower inflammation actually had biological ages up to 15 years younger than their chronological age. And so aging isn't about the calendar. It's about how fast your body is breaking down at that cellular level. And now what's the best part to this? We can slow that down or reverse it. And so what if you could slow, stop, or even reverse aging at the cellular level? For decades, scientists believed aging was just inevitable. But recent breakthroughs in longevity research suggest we can actually reverse many aspects of aging. Can we slow aging? Absolutely. Lifestyle, diet, and certain biohacks can actually dramatically reduce the rate of cellular breakdown. Now, can we stop aging? Not completely, but we can delay major aging markers by decades. How can we reverse aging? In some cases, we can by restoring mitochondrial function, clearing out what are called senescent or zombie cells, and regenerating tissues with stem cells or peptides. A study in the journal Nature 2020 found that hyperbaric oxygen therapy increased telomere length by 20%, effectively reversing key markers of aging. So the future of aging is here. Scientists are now exploring cutting-edge ways to slow and reverse aging, including things like NAD boosters to fuel the mitochondria, things like senolytics, which clear out old damaged cells. This is also doable with fasting. Peptides and stem cells that regenerate tissues that have been damaged. and then fasting and autophagy to trigger cellular repair. And so aging just isn't something you have to accept. With the right strategies, you can take control of your biological age, reverse it, and slow the clock. And so in this episode, I'm going to break down what the science of anti-aging is, not gimmicks or expensive treatments, but cutting-edge, research-backed ways to slow and even reverse cellular aging. So the root causes of aging, how to stop them, the most powerful anti-aging supplements that actually work, that have been studied and proven, biohacks like red light therapy, fasting, cold exposure, and then peptides, stem cells, and regenerative medicine, how they work and who should use them. So by the end of this episode, you'll walk away with an action plan to not only live longer, but to live stronger, healthier, and sharper for decades to come. So let's dive in. So like I discussed, aging isn't just about getting older. It's a biological process driven by specific cellular mechanisms. While conventional wisdom says aging is inevitable, modern science has debunked that and identified key drivers that speed it up, but more importantly, slow it down. So let's break down the 5 biggest causes of aging and what we can do about them. So number 1, mitochondrial dysfunction. So this is basically the energy crisis of aging. Your mitochondria are like power plants in your cells. They produce energy, which is called ATP, that fuels everything from brain function to muscle movement. And as we age, the mitochondria become less efficient, producing less energy and more oxidative stress, which is a byproduct of those processes within inside. This can lead to things like fatigue, cognitive decline, and then even chronic disease. So why does this happen? Because the damaged mitochondria produce excess free radicals, which cause damage intracellularly. Declining NAD+ levels can reduce mitochondrial function because NAD is a critical coenzyme that declines with age and is responsible for that production of ATP. Things like toxins and poor diet can then accelerate mitochondrial breakdown. So a study in the Journal of Nature 2020 found that mitochondrial decline is one of the biggest drivers of aging and chronic disease, impacting everything from heart health to neurodegeneration. And so what is a solution for this? Boosting mitochondrial function with NAD+ precursors, things like NMN, NR, CoQ10, and specifically exercise like HIIT training and strength training. We're going to get a little bit more into this in the segment when we talk about solutions. So what's number 2 on our list? Telomere shortening. So this is basically like a biological time bomb. Telomeres are the protective caps at the end of your DNA strands, kind of like the plastic tips on the end of shoelaces. Each time your cells divide, the telomeres get shorter until eventually they become too short to function, which can lead to cellular dysfunction and aging. So why does this happen? Chronic stress and inflammation can accelerate telomere loss. Poor lifestyle choices, things like smoking, processed foods, sedentary life, they speed up that shortening as well. Oxidative stress damages DNA, which leads to the premature aging. A study in The Lancet 2017 found that people with longer telomeres had a significantly lower risk of heart disease, dementia, and early mortality. So what's the solution for this one? Activating telomerase, which is the enzyme that repairs telomeres. We can do this a few different ways, things like fasting, meditation, and mindfulness, and specific nutrients. We'll get more into that. Third on the list, chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. We did an episode on this a few weeks back about how these are the silent killers and basically responsible for a majority of chronic disease. Inflammation is a normal immune response, but chronic inflammation can wreak havoc on the body. It's linked to heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and neurodegeneration. And so what spurs chronic inflammation? Things like a poor diet, high in processed sugars and foods, seed oils, chronic stress that triggers excess cortisol, and environmental toxins like pollution, heavy metals, which can accelerate that oxidative damage. A study in the Journal of Gerontology 2021 found that people with lower inflammation had biological ages up to 15 years younger. So what's an approach here is to follow an anti-inflammatory diet, rich in omega-3s, polyphenols, and antioxidants, practicing intermittent fasting, giving your gut a break, allowing it to lower that inflammation, and using red light therapy to combat inflammation as well. Number 4, cellular senescence, the buildup of zombie cells. So as we age, our bodies accumulate senescent cells. These are cells that are no longer functioning properly, but refuse to die. So instead, they linger in the body, secreting harmful compounds that can damage surrounding tissues and accelerate aging. So why does this happen? Because these damaged cells fail to self-destruct, which is called apoptosis. It's a natural cellular process. These senescent cells release things like inflammatory chemicals, which can speed up the aging and contribute to that process we discussed. And declining immune function allows these zombie cells to accumulate. So a study done in Aging Cell Journal 2018 found that clearing out senescent cells with senolytic compounds, things like quercetin and fisetin, reversed biological aging markers in mice and humans. So what's a solution? Using senolytics, things like we just said, quercetin, fisetin, resveratrol, and intermittent fasting to promote a process called autophagy, which is your body's natural cleanup process. Number 5, epigenetic changes. Basically the on-off switch for aging genes. So your epigenome controls which genes get turned on or off based on lifestyle factors, where we have internal genetic predispositions based on our family history, the DNA of our parents, and those things. Epigenetics is what our lifestyle and external environment can contribute to our DNA. So this is things like diet, exercise, stress. As we age, harmful genes can get activated while protective genes get suppressed, leading to disease and dysfunction. So now why does this happen? Toxins and poor diet trigger harmful gene expression. Chronic stress and poor sleep actually turn on these genes that accelerate aging. And lack of movement, sedentary lifestyle suppresses genes that will promote longevity. A study done in the journal Cell 2019 found that lifestyle interventions such as exercise, fasting, and stress management could reverse these epigenetic markers of aging. So what's a key takeaway here for everything we just discussed is that aging isn't inevitable. It's a process that you can slow down, right? And so the latest research confirms that aging is not just wear and tear. It's driven by specific cellular mechanisms, most that we don't even know are happening, but that we can influence with specific measures. So what does this mean for you? Mitochondria can be strengthened with the right nutrients and exercise. Telomeres can be protected with stress reduction, things like omega-3s. Inflammation can be controlled with diet, fasting, biohacks. Senescent cells can be cleared out with senolytics and autophagy. And your genes can ultimately be reprogrammed for longevity with specific lifestyle changes. So what's the bottom line? Aging is no longer a mystery. We know what causes it. But more importantly, we know how to slow it down. And so in this next segment, we're going to dive into the most powerful tools, supplements, and even biohacks to reverse biological aging and keep your body and mind strong for decades to come. But first, here's a quick word from one of our sponsors. This episode of Health Decoded is brought to you by Authentic Nutrition, the brand redefining what it means to fuel your body the right way. At Authentic Nutrition, they believe that what you put into your body matters. That's why every single product is crafted with clean, premium ingredients and dosed with maximum efficacy to ensure you're not just meeting your health goals, you're exceeding them. No fillers, no shortcuts, no gimmicks. Whether it's their advanced supplements for energy, recovery, or gut health, you can trust that what's on the label is exactly what's in the bottle. Authentic Nutrition delivers science-backed formulations that work as hard as you do. If you're tired of products that promise the world but don't deliver, it's time to make the switch to Authentic Nutrition. Elevate your health with transparency, quality, and results you can feel. Check them out today at AuthenticNutrition.com and use promo code Alessi15 to get 15% off. That's THENTIC Nutrition.com, promo code ALESSI15 to save 15% and take the first step toward real, lasting health. Authentic Nutrition. Fuel your best self. Now back to the episode. All right, welcome back. So if you want to slow down aging, extend your health span, and keep your body functioning at peak performance, certain nutrients and supplements have been scientifically proven to directly impact the aging process at the cellular level. These compounds go beyond basic health maintenance. They actually repair your DNA and optimize that mitochondrial function. doing things like reducing inflammation and making them essential tools in any anti-aging protocol. So let's get into it. Let's break down some of the most powerful science-backed anti-aging nutrients and why and how they work. So number one on my list here is things like NAD plus boosters. These are NMN and NR, also known as nicotinamide mononucleotide or nicotinamide riboside. These are the ultimate cellular fuel. So NAD plus is one of the most critical molecules for longevity. It's responsible for cellular energy production, DNA repair, and mitochondrial health. Unfortunately, NAD plus levels decline by 50% by middle age, leading to fatigue, cognitive decline, and increased disease risk. So how it works: NAD plus powers your mitochondria, which is your body's power plant. It activates DNA repair enzymes to prevent cellular damage and enhances the activity of things called sirtuins, which are proteins in the body that extend lifespan and protect against age-related decline. So a study in the journal Cell Metabolism in 2018 found that NMN supplementation reversed age-related vascular decline, restoring blood flow and energy production to youthful levels. So what are some of the best sources for NAD+? NMN, which is nicotinamide mononucleotide, and NR, which is nicotinamide riboside. These are the two best ways to boost NAD+. Next on my list here, resveratrol and pterostilbene, the longevity gene activators. So resveratrol is a more potent cousin, and pterostilbene are powerful polyphenols that activate sirtuins, the same longevity genes stimulated by fasting and calorie restriction. So how does it work? Basically, it mimics the benefits of fasting without caloric restriction. It's going to reduce oxidative stress that accelerates cellular aging, and it's going to protect the brain and heart by reducing inflammation. So a study out of Harvard University by Dr. David Sinclair showed that resveratrol mimics the benefits of fasting, activating sirtuins and extending lifespan. Some of the best sources for these are things like red grapes, blueberries, dark chocolate, or supplementation for a higher dosage effect. Next on my list here, I have CoQ10 and PQQ, the mitochondrial superchargers. So if you want more energy, better endurance, improved brain function, coenzyme Q10 and pyrroloquinone quinine are essential. These compounds enhance mitochondrial function, helping your cells to produce ATP and obviously energy more efficiently. So basically, CoQ10 fuels mitochondrial production, while PQQ will stimulate the growth of new mitochondria. So basically, it's a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. So basically, these two in combination are going to enhance the way that your mitochondria grow and function and protect these cells from damage. So a study in the Journal of Clinical Investigation 2015 found that CoQ10 improved heart function and reduced fatigue in aging individuals. Some of the best sources for these are grass-fed meat, fatty fish, certain nuts, or high-quality supplementation. Next on my list here, and this was discussed heavily in the last 2 episodes, magnesium and vitamin D3 with K2. These are anti-inflammatory essentials. Magnesium and D3K2 work together to optimize cellular function, improve bone health, heart health, and regulate inflammation. So magnesium is the master coenzyme. It's basically needed for over 300 enzymatic processes, including DNA repair and energy production. Whereas vitamin D3 paired with K2 work together to direct calcium where it belongs, into the bones, not into the arteries. Both of these are going to reduce chronic inflammation and then slow down those aging-related diseases. A study out of the European Journal of Nutrition 2019 found that vitamin K2 supplementation reduced arterial stiffness by 50%, lowering heart disease risk. So some of the best sources: magnesium, you can get from dark leafy greens, nuts, avocados. Vitamin D3 and K2, obviously sunlight, certain fermented foods, or you can always supplement. And so number 5 on this list is omega-3s, including EPA and DHA. So these are what we consider like a cellular shield. The omega-3 fatty acids are going to support brain health, reduce inflammation, and protect against cellular damage. They are essential because the body cannot produce them on its own. So basically, EPA fights inflammation, protecting cells from this oxidative stress, And then DHA is going to support brain function, preventing against things like neurodegeneration. Both of these are going to enhance cardiovascular health, reducing the risk of heart disease. So I always recommend you get a good omega-3 supplement that has a combination of EPA and DHA. So a study out of the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2016 found that increasing omega-3 intake reduced heart disease risk by 30%. Some of the best sources are going to be wild-caught fish like salmon and sardines, grass-fed beef, walnuts, or high-quality fish oil supplements. So what's a key takeaway here is that these nutrients don't just support health, they actively reverse the aging process. So for you, what this means is you can boost NAD+ levels to restore cellular energy. You can activate your longevity genes with resveratrol and fasting, supercharge mitochondria with CoQ10, PQQ, and magnesium, protect your arteries and brain health with vitamin D3, K2, and omega-3s, and ultimately slow inflammation and oxidative stress to extend your lifespan. So the right supplements aren't just going to help you feel better. They're going to work at the cellular level to slow, stop, and even reverse aging. So if you ever want to learn more about what we call smart supplementation and how to know what's right for you, go to AlessiFunctionalHealth.com, book a consultation with me or one of my amazing doctors, and learn how functional medicine can help you. Now we're going to explore some of the more cutting-edge advanced anti-aging technology and biohacks, from stem cells to peptides and more. So if you're serious about slowing, stopping, and even reversing aging, advanced biohacks can supercharge your results. These aren't just gimmicks. These are scientifically backed interventions. They're going to work with your body's natural biology to enhance your mitochondrial function, regenerate tissues, lengthen your lifespan. So let's get into some of the more powerful anti-aging biohacks and the science behind them. Number one, you've probably all heard of this, cold therapy. Cryotherapy, ice baths, cold showers. Basically, these are the ultimate longevity reset. Cold exposure activates something called brown fat, which boosts your metabolism, reducing inflammation and stimulating the release of longevity proteins like adiponectin. It's also a powerful hormetic stressor. Hormetic meaning a short, controlled shock to your system that triggers stronger cellular repair mechanisms on the back end. So how does it work? When you get into the cold, it activates what are called cold shock proteins that are going to enhance cellular resilience. It's going to increase mitochondrial efficiency, leading to better energy production, and it's going to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. So a study out of the European Journal of Applied Physiology in 2017 found that regular cold exposure significantly increased antioxidant defenses, helping cells fight aging. So how to do it, okay? Take a 30 to 60 second cold shower after a workout or in the morning when you shower. The best way to get into this is to start with what we call a cold finish. You just took your shower, you're ready to go, 30 to 60 seconds of cold right at the end. To take it to the next level, you can try cryotherapy or ice baths, where you're going to get your whole body immersed into cold up to 3 to 5 minutes at a time. So now number 2 on this list, red light therapy using the process of photobiomodulation. This is going to reverse aging at the cellular level. So red and near infrared light stimulate mitochondria to produce more ATP, helping cells to repair damage, inflammation, and enhance function. So how does it work? It's going to boost the mitochondrial function, increasing energy production at the cellular level, enhancing collagen production, reducing wrinkles and skin aging. That's awesome. And it's going to improve cognitive function by increasing blood flow to the brain. So a study out of the Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience 2020 found that red light therapy reversed age-related cognitive decline and improved memory in older adults. So how do we use it? You can invest in a high-quality red light therapy device, something like a Juve or a MitoRed. You can use that for 10 to 20 minutes per day on the face, joints, or the muscles for cellular regeneration, or infrared sauna for full-body mitochondrial activation. Highly, highly recommend infrared sauna. Number 3, very, very powerful mechanism here is intermittent fasting or fasting mimicking diets. These are going to trigger the process of cellular autophagy and regeneration. So fasting isn't just for weight loss. It activates autophagy, which is your body's built-in cellular cleanup process. During fasting, damaged proteins and dysfunctional cells are broken down, recycled, leading to stronger, healthier cells. So how does it work? Fasting triggers this autophagy process, which helps the body to remove damaged cells. The analogy I like to use is think of a busy post office. If they're constantly getting new mail in, it's hard for them to process the mail that they already have in the office to then get that out. So if you can take the break from putting food into the gut and into the body, it now has the ability to take that damaged and old tissue, get that out, and regenerate what's needed. Fasting is also going to lower insulin resistance, reducing the risk of metabolic disease. So a study in Cell Stem Cell 2014 found that fasting for 72 hours could regenerate the entire immune system, increasing stem cell activity. So how to do it, okay? And you have to be careful here. If you've never done it, you want to start light. So starting with what we consider a 16-8 intermittent fasting. So you're going to fast for about 16 hours, and then you're going to schedule your eating within an 8-hour window. Then once you've gotten good at that and you've found some balance, your body can tolerate it, then I would recommend you try going for more of a 24 to 48 hour fast once or twice a month for that deeper cellular cleanup. Also experimenting with fasting mimicking diets for benefits without full fasting. We partner with a brand called Prolon, where we can use these specific formulas to still get calories and nutrition in, but it mimics the concept of fasting and allows the body to get the benefits. Next on the list here, and this is a little bit more high tech, is hyperbaric oxygen therapy. This is going to lengthen telomeres and reverse aging. So hyperbaric oxygen therapy increases oxygen levels in the tissues, promoting cellular repair and lengthening telomeres. It enhances oxygen delivery, improves cellular repair, boosts collagen production, which can improve skin, joints, and connective tissue, and it can increase stem cell production as well. So how to do it, okay? Medical grade HBOT chambers you would do for about 60 to 90 minutes per session for a deep rejuvenation. You can use the soft HBOT chambers, which are lower pressure at home. Obviously, these devices are not cheap. There are places where you can go and do these on a regular basis, 2, 3, 4 days a month. You can combine the HBOT with fasting for a more powerful synergy in this anti-aging kick. So what's a key takeaway here? Biohacking can unlock a lot of your body's natural anti-aging powers that have been suppressed. So what does this mean? Cold therapy builds resilience, fights inflammation. Red light therapy supercharges the mitochondria, reverses cognitive decline. Fasting will trigger cellular cleanup and regenerate stem cells. And hyperbaric oxygen can lengthen telomeres and reverse aging at the DNA level. So what's the bottom line? You don't need expensive, unproven anti-aging treatments because these cutting-edge biohacks work with your biology to extend lifespan and health span naturally. So now we're going to explore some more advanced regenerative therapies like peptides, stem cells, and gene therapy that are changing the future of longevity. So here we go. All right, so let's get into the role of peptides and stem cells in anti-aging. So we've covered some natural strategies, some cutting-edge biohacks, and now let's dive into the next frontier of longevity, things that are really exciting and that we're experimenting with at Alessi Functional Health as well, peptides and stem cells. So these are powerful tools, and they have the potential to regenerate tissue, enhance your cellular repair, and extend your lifespan. So it's not just hype anymore. Scientific studies are proving that these therapies can actively slow and reverse biological aging. So peptides, which are basically the next frontier in longevity, what they are, they're short chains of amino acids that act as signaling molecules in the body. Unlike traditional pharmaceuticals, peptides work with your body's natural processes to enhance repair, recovery, and longevity. A peptide in particular, epitalin, is known for extending lifespan at the genetic level. What it does is a peptide that activates telomerase, which is the enzyme responsible for maintaining and lengthening your telomeres. Longer telomeres are linked to increased lifespan and reduced aging-related disease. A study out of the International Journal of Molecular Science in 2019 found that epitalin increased longevity in animal models by promoting telomerase activity. So what it's going to do is it's going to extend lifespan by maintaining the telomere length, improve your sleep quality and circadian rhythm, and boost your immune function. The next peptide, one that I've used a ton and recommend to a lot of patients who come in with joint pain and overall body pain, is BPC 157. This is the tissue regeneration peptide. So BPC 157 is a healing and recovery powerhouse. Originally discovered in the stomach, it's been shown to rapidly regenerate tissues. It can also heal the gut lining and reduce inflammation throughout the body. Another reason we use it is for things like leaky gut or celiac disease. So the benefits are going to be that it's going to heal muscle, ligament, and tendon injuries. It's going to repair gut damage from conditions like leaky gut and IBS, and it's going to reduce overall inflammation and oxidative stress. So then the next ones that are fantastic, thymosin alpha-1 and thymosin beta-4, which are the ultimate immune and recovery boosters. You pair these with BPC 157, and they basically double down on the effects. So these peptides are critical for immune function, wound healing, cellular repair. Thymosin alpha-1 enhances the immune system's strength, helping the body fight infections and slow aging. Thymosin beta-4 speeds up tissue repair, improving brain function, reducing inflammation, all linked to aging. So who can benefit from this? Those recovering from injury or surgery, individuals with weakened immune systems, or those looking to reduce inflammation and slow aging. So now let's talk a little bit about stem cell therapy and regenerative medicine. Stem cells are awesome. They are your body's raw materials for regeneration. They have the ability to develop into any type of cell and repair damaged tissue. But as we age, our natural stem cell production declines, leading to slower healing and increased degeneration. So mesenchymal stem cells, or MSCs, repair aging tissue. They are powerful anti-inflammatory and regenerative agents. They're going to reduce those senescent markers, which is the damaged and aging cells. They're going to go in and repair joints, muscles, nerves, and they're also going to enhance skin and tissue regeneration. So a study in the Journal of Translational Medicine 2018 found that mesenchymal stem cell therapy rejuvenates aging tissue by reducing senescent markers and promoting tissue repair. So how do we use these, right? In our clinic, we use them for joint regeneration, for things like arthritis and cartilage repair, overuse injuries, for neurological conditions such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, stroke recovery, and for what we're talking about today, the anti-aging skin and kind of cosmetic procedures as well. Another way that we can activate stem cells is through something called Softwave Therapy. So in our clinic at Alessi Functional Health, we have a device called a Softwave Therapy unit. This activates your body's own stem cells. So rather than an injection, the Softwave Therapy is a non-invasive regenerative treatment that activates dormant stem cells within your body. It's going to kickstart healing and tissue repair without surgery, drugs, or injections. So how does it work? It uses acoustic wave technology to stimulate a mechanism within the body to promote tissue repair. This is going to activate dormant stem cells to go to the area. It's also going to reduce inflammation and accelerate recovery while lowering pain. So Softwave is really the future of regenerative medicine without the high cost and risk of stem cell injections. Now, when we pair the two together, we can enhance the results tenfold. So some of the key takeaways here is that peptides and stem cells are really the future for longevity, anti-aging, and regenerative therapies. So peptides like epitalin, BPC 157, and thymosin can actively reverse aging and enhance recovery. Stem cell therapy is going to repair aging tissue and reduce inflammation. And Softwave therapy is going to stimulate your body's natural regenerative powers without the injections. Now, you use all three of these things together, you are going to be an anti-aging, recovering powerhouse. And so we're no longer just managing aging, we're actually reversing aging at the cellular level. And so as we wrap up here, I really want to leave you guys with some action and some things that you can start today to kind of start slowing that aging process naturally and taking more initiative. So this is what I'm going to call your ultimate anti-aging blueprint. Okay. So start incorporating some daily habits such as cold exposure, strength training, optimizing your sleep. Get some key supplements, things like NAD boosters, resveratrol, and omega-3s. And then look into some of the more advanced therapies like red light therapy, fasting, regenerative medicine. And so at Alessi Functional Health, our approach is with functional medicine. So with functional medicine, we create a personalized protocol which combines cutting-edge therapies like Softwave and stem cells, as well as the natural holistic methods to activate your body's natural healing mechanisms and reverse aging from the cellular level. So in conclusion, the future of aging is not just about living longer, it's about living better, stronger, and sharper. So aging is optional. And so if you are curious about creating a personalized plan for lifelong cellular health and longevity, schedule a consultation. Go to alessifunctionalhealth.com. You can book a consultation right on the website. Sign up for our newsletter. Check out our resources page. Learn more about our approach and how we use these cutting-edge therapies. Listeners of the Health Decoded podcast are going to get exclusive discounts and price reductions on all supplements, blood work, and even therapies. So as always, if you found value in today's show, please like and smash that subscribe button. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. That's the only way we get the word out, is if you share and you spread the word. And if you want to get in touch with us or even be featured on an episode, email us, send us questions to ask@alessifxhealth.com. We might answer those live on the show. As always, thank you for tuning in to Health Decoded, where we break down the science, bust the myths, and help you take control of your health naturally. Until next time, stay curious, stay empowered, and remember, your health is in your hands.
Thank you for tuning in to Health Decoded, where we break down the truth about all things health and empower you to take charge of your well-being. If you found value in today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. For more resources and personalized support, visit us at alessifunctionalhealth.com and sign up for our newsletter. To hear your questions answered live on the show, send them to ask@alessifxhealth.com. That's ask@alessifxhealth.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay empowered, and remember, your health is in your hands.